like I said, you have to understand the symbolism with the serpent being used, and then understand what this illumination and this enlightenment is all about anyway. And it's about this rising kundalini. Well, we're going to experience this in the physical from micro to macro. This is what it would look like as you see the path of the serpent intertwine the chakras. Of course, what are there? 33. There's 33 members of the spinal cord of which the serpent seeks to ascend. What is this called here in the last days that is written into Revelation, supposedly this 1,000-year kingdom age? Well, that's exactly what this is called here, the crown chakra. None of that's by accident. All of it fulfills the fractal in any angle that you look at it. So just to kind of let you know what's happening here, to familiarize yourself with how these beings are being bound and who's released when and what. What you see here is in between each one of these periods, you're going to have the appearance of this supposed master race. And those are these beings that have gone underneath the ground. Just like the legend of Atlantis, we know that some of their higher members were supposed to be saved and had left and escaped the destruction. And some of the legends even state that they had made it to the hills of Tibet and there went into the earth. And then I've already showed you in another series entitled The Ancient Judgment of the Locust, all the scriptural proof that will back that up, that these beings, yes, are in the earth, and there's very ancient civilizations there from long time past, all biblical. So this is the way that this works here. These spiritual beings that have lived and died from the times of the Garden of Eden have had physical beings that were sons of God, the fallen ones. They died. Their spirits are bound on earth. They have not been released at any of these periods. Their spirits are simply collected from one world age to the next, just like the book of Enoch says. It's called a dispensational age. They are waiting to be released at this period here, when the serpent will bust through the crown chakra. And that's basically the serpent coming through the water line and entering into the material. Well, they believe that they're going to enter into the material bodies at this time. None of these spirits have ever been released at any of these world ages prior. But what you have been seeing happening that causes this world age destruction is the appearance of the descendancy of the sons of God that are still living. And we've called those by many names, and we've come to know them best as the Danites. But really, the Danites is just a name, a symbol for these ancient mighty ones of the past. They are the ones that rise at the end of a world age and the beginning of another age, and they cause this destruction. And they're a part of giving the sciences and the understanding for this destruction to the powers that be on the surface at the time. In other words, the elite, the kings of the earth. So they coach the kings of the earth, and then they cause the destruction, they limit the provisions of the people, and then they time this up cyclically all of these times. And they're doing this to raise their consciousness, but in a sense destroy your consciousness. And that's how it happens. So at each one of these end of the world ages, we have the destruction of the physical civilizations. It's happened 6 times already before, on 5,000-year intervals, roughly. Now, at this 7th ending of this destruction, as you know, the legend states that the locusts are going to appear, and the locusts at that point will begin to prepare the way for the arrival of their prince, the Antichrist, their king. And that's the job of what the locusts are to do. So at this point, they believe that they're going to be able to receive their physical bodies and their physical dominions, and it all relates exactly back to this same path of enlightenment that people follow when they try to rise the Kundalini serpent. Well, we see that the Kundalini serpent consciousness is rising on our planet, and it's not a pretty sight. I'll be back.